If it's an air freshener, I don't exactly know what I'm looking for, but
Mr. Gondapur, where is your counsel?
I choose to represent myself in this matter, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Mr. Gandapur has ample resources with which to hire a whole team of lawyers experienced in defending clients charged with capital crimes.
Actually, Your Honor, my alleged co-conspirator and I wish to be tried together. We will be co-counselors, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we cannot have one defendant putting another on the stand.
Mr. Gondapur, are you and Mr. Jackson willing to be held responsible for your knowledge of court procedures, your ability to adequately cross-examine, and communicate your side of the story efficiently and effectively?
We are, Your Honor.
Then I see no problem with you representing yourself pro se. How do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Not guilty?
that guy's
Well done, Mr. Jackson.
guy's
The
got
rest of you
the
will see you at trial.
that sarcasm from the judge. I like her already. Doesn't seem to be quite there.
Take much imagination to see what's going to happen here. They'll each point the finger at each other and create enough reasonable doubt, and both of them will walk.
And acting as their own defense will give them total access to each other. Plenty of time to get their story straight.
Yeah, but Gandapur is a shark. He'll figure out how to put this all on Jackson somehow while he walks.
Then get Jackson to roll on him first.
Jackson's a sex offender on parole accused of murdering 8 women. What can we offer him other than life in prison?
A chance to tell his side of the story without Gandapur pulling the strings. Shoot for the moon. If that doesn't work, divide and conquer.
Right, guys, prosecutor pack here. I know I'm gonna fuck up, so get ready for your loads. Prepare your loads.
I do.
You guys are in for a treat. You guys be laughing. Okay, let's talk about. I don't know what the fuck is trophies are about here.
What makes you think Patty Jackson and David Gandapur are co-conspirators in the deaths of these women?
Aside from the physical evidence, I believe Jackson worked for Gandapur.
How so?
I believe they form what's called a dominant-submissive pairing you sometimes find with serial killers who work together. As partners, they were able to fulfill each other's appetites. Jackson for sexual violence, Gandapur for murder.
Objection, Your Honor.
Should you stop Logan from theorizing? Well, yeah, technically we should, yeah. No, fuck why? If it was them, I would have objected, saying speculations, you know? Whatever.
What caused you to think of Mr. Jackson when you became involved in the hunt for the Massapequa Mangler?
When I found out a lock of Wendy Crane's hair was missing.
Yes. Oh, look at that redness, though. Taking hair was Paddy's, Jackson's MO, the Mangler's last name was Jackson. Taking Sunil's one. Okay. Logan, simply. Was it the first one? Yeah. Excellent work, Counselor. Thank you.
Why was that significant?
Go
Patty
back.
had the same MO with the women he raped.
Objection. I am not a pervert.
Mr. Jackson is a convicted rapist. The locks of hair he took from those women were trophies, souvenirs, if you will.
Overruled.
Okay,
Is there any evidence
break
to
even again.
suggest that either defendant was at Hunt's Point around the time the other victims disappeared?
No, there are a lot of prostitutes there, a lot of Johns, a lot of drugs. It's hard to find witnesses.
Okay.
Most of the Mangler's victims were found in shallow graves around Nassau County, but Wendy Crane was found in Harlem, in plain sight. Can you explain?
Patty didn't follow the plan. You see, Wendy had defensive wounds on her hands and on her arms. Something went wrong in the van. Patty panicked and he strangled her, then got spooked and tried to dump the body right there.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. What is the other important detail is the methamphetamine found in methamphetamine. No? The missing finger, the lock of hair taken from Wendy, the burlap fibers found in Gandapur's hair. What? The lock of hair? I don't know. Was it in his hair? I remember, is it Curtis said it? I don't know when he said it though, but. His name's Curtis, right? You can go on your phone. Okay, that was a bit too early. We have a witness for forensics. Places. He does right now. You know. Is it the third one or the fourth one? Third one. Yes, I got it right. Yes, come on, in your face.
But not so spooked he couldn't stop and take a lock of her hair.
Correct. He had a knife, and I believe those trophies to be extremely important to him.
Objection! Innocent until proven guilty.
Overruled. Innocent until proven guilty is a civil right, Mr. Jackson, not a
Yeah.
basis for objection.
You don't know how to
Appreciate your
object.
time, Detective Logan.
He's like me. I narrowly won it. Just narrowly won it. He's objecting for no reason.
Mr. Logan.
Detective.
Need to brush up on your legal objections. Argumentative. Defense is arguing with witness or asking questions for effect alone. You expect us to believe us. No, yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. Asked and answered when the same question is posed twice. Hearsay relying on testimony of someone other than the witness. In some of the witnesses. So many shit. How am I gonna remember all this?
Nice fat promotion.
I need to write down.
Didn't you?
That's not the way it works.
You put the blame on me because you couldn't solve your case and you thought you were gonna get fired.
No.
I could object, but what am I gonna object on though? Like, I really need to write this down because I can't remember. Arguing. I don't know. I mean, that's not badgering. Thought you were gonna get fired. Same question. No. Nah.
You're trying to ruin
Fuck.
my life to
I don't know
protect a
what
bunch
one
of
that is.
whores.
We might have to protect a bunch of whores. So what the fuck is that one then? Is arguing with witness or asking questions. Wait. Maybe the first one was argumentative, thinking about that. When asked the same question twice. You're trying to ruin my life. Okay, so that seems like ask and answered.
Objection.
Ask and
The
answered.
question has been asked and answered.
Overruled.
Oh my gosh,
I'd like
what
to
the
continue
fuck is this?
cross-examination.
Keep it on point, Mr. Gondapur.
You know what, let's set them both free, you know.
I
I'm
am
fucking
most
up.
curious, Detective Logan. How did you form your opinion on how my landscaper and I collaborated in the murders of these women?
I've been a detective for over 25 years, mostly in homicide.
Are you a psychologist?
No.
Criminal profiler? Any professional training on the psychology of serial killers?
No.
Well, your opinion can hardly be valid, can it?
Yes,
Objection, Your Honor.
Defense is arguing for witness. Is it badgering?
Badgering.
Sustained. Enough,
Yes.
Mr. Gondapur.
What physical evidence did you find to suggest that either myself or my co-defendant are guilty of such ghastly crimes as the one suspected of the so-called Massapequa Mangler?
Burlap fibers found in Wendy Crane's hair matched that found in Patty Jackson's van and in your garden shed. Probably most telling was a cutting tool we found in the same shed with Wendy Crane's blood on it. There was also duct tape and zip ties found in the van and the shed that were an exact match for ones found on other victims.
Anything in my home?
Not that I'm aware.
So you found evidence in Mr. Jackson's van. Evidence in my garden shed which Mr. Jackson had access to.
That's right.
None of my DNA nor hair samples, nor fingerprints found on any of the victims.
No. You were very careful in that regard.
Just one more question, Detective Logan. As a hedge fund manager, I made $25 million last year alone in salary and bonuses.
That's nice.
Do I sound like the type of person who does his own gardening?
I mean, didn't he say that he likes to do it to distress himself? So how can I object? Do I look like? Is it argumentative?
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
Sustained.
Yes!
Mr.
I don't know how that makes sense, but
Gondapur,
yes,
watch
that's
the
good.
editorializing.
I object too.
What is this, some kind of Marx Brothers routine? Get your ducks in a row, gentlemen, or I'll start holding you in contempt.
Sit down, you imbecile. No further questions, Your Honor.
Fuck, I'm down. I'm down, guys. I'm down. This is a Titanic. Mayday, mayday.
Gentlemen,
Well, I'm sinking.
do we owe the pleasure?
We've come to make you an offer, Mr. Cutter. One I think you'll find quite generous given the circumstances. What if Mr. Jackson were prepared to admit to being the Massapequa Mangler?
Just Mr. Jackson?
Manslaughter 2 for my co-defendant. 10 years, eligible for parole in 5.
And you walk away with what? A ticket for littering?
Aiding and abetting. 5 years in a minimum security prison where I am allowed to continue to manage investment funds for clients.
Is this a joke?
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm losing. I'm losing, you know? I'm gonna lose this case at this rate. I don't know if I can get for murder too. Life in minimum security. I have no fuck idea what that is. No deal? Let's go down the no deal route and see where it takes us.
No deal, Mr. Gondapur. Take my advice and spend some of that money of yours on a lawyer. See you in court.
Grandapur and Jacksons will no doubt commit a number of legal errors. Be prepared to object. No expect knowledge when yeah, I know that one. You may use asked and answered when the defense is repeating a question merely for dramatic effect.
Mr. Jackson, when did you begin working on my estate in Brookville?
About 9 months ago.
Around the time the first of the Mangler's victims was found.
What? Yeah, I guess.
Earlier, Detective Logan speculated that we formed a dominant-submissive pairing, with you as the submissive. Could he be correct?
I mean, is that even worse? Object into? Speculated that we formed.
Objection.
I don't know.
Your Honor, the witness has no expert knowledge of the subject.
Sustained. Direct your questions elsewhere, Mr. Gondapur.
Oh, I got it right. I don't know
No
how,
way.
but okay.
I make my own decisions.
Mr. Jackson, the objection was sustained. If you don't know what that means, then I suggest we take a recess so your lawyer can explain it to you.
But I'm my lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The police found physical evidence relating to the murders inside your work van, did they not?
Yeah, but that van belongs to the landscaping company.
Did anyone else have access to it?
Sometimes. Sometimes I'd leave it at the nursery. The other guys could have used it.
So many people with so much access to so much evidence. It would be very hard to say definitively who did what, wouldn't it?
It'd be very hard. I mean, I feel like I need to object, but is it no expert knowledge again? I'll object and see what else I can use.
Objection, Your Honor.
Leading. It could be leading, no? Leading.
Your Honor, defense is leading the witness.
Sustained. Move on, Mr. Gondapur.
The police found some burlap sacks in my garden shed. Fibers from the burlap matched ones found in Wendy Crane's hair. Do you have any idea how those fibers got on the victim?
No idea.
What were they for, those sacks of yours?
I bought some pesticide called atrazine. I have a license to buy it.
And you really have no idea how fibers from those sacks got on poor Miss Crane?
Objection, Your Honor.
I swear he asked it twice. You really have no idea how. Yeah, fibers got onto the victim, and he says, "Do you know how the fibers from those sacks got on poor Miss Crane?" Ask and answer.
The question has been asked and answered.
Find a new line of questioning.
Yes, I'm on a roll.
Well, what are you asking me that for?
What about the cutting tool, Patrick? The one found in the shed. It had Wendy Crane's blood on it.
I don't know. Maybe someone was doing stuff in the shed, like at night. I didn't see it, or I would have called the police.
You have to admit it is damning evidence against the two of us, really. I mean, it was my shed.
Guess so.
You guess so. How did a bloody knife get into my shed without you noticing a thing?
I don't know.
Without you noticing a thing. Yeah. Let's see what else.
Objection, Your Honor.
Argumentative?
Argumentative.
Sustained.
Yes! Whoop whoop! I won that round by far convincingly. Yeah. Motherfucker's gonna get it.
What is it, Patty? What is it about these women that makes you feel so powerless, so angry?
I don't have to answer that, do I?
Don't look at him for help, Patty. You're on your own. Or haven't you figured that out by now?
Oh. What a way to go fishing during a court trial.
The cutting tool we found in the garden shed, the one with Wendy Crane's blood on it? I suppose you don't know how that got there either.
Nope.
What about the fibers found in Wendy Crane's hair? The ones from the burlap sacks of atrazine in the shed. Ones you put there.
I didn't bring anyone back there, okay? It could have been him, you know.
What about fibers found in one of the ones? Yes. No. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm not good at this. Fucked
Blood
up.
taken from your van was found to contain Wendy Crane's DNA. How did it get there?
I don't know.
Was Wendy Crane ever in your van?
No.
Yeah. Was it the second one? He had Wendy in the car. Van search, no? Hotels around me. A joint never saw a girl before. Okay, maybe she was in my van. Yeah, so he was in the van. She was in the van. Come on!
Well, I'm confused, Mr. Jackson. Because according to the statement you made to detectives, you claim to have let Wendy Crane in your van to solicit her services as a prostitute.
That's not true. They made me say that.
Did they put her blood in your van too?
I don't know how it got there, but it wasn't me.
Your co-counsel has been strangely quiet, Patty. Even you have to know he could have objected a dozen times to what I've had to say so far.
Why aren't you trying to stop her? She's badgering me, right?
Mr. Jackson, what will happen to you if you take the fall for the murders of these 8 women?
I guess Mr. Ganderpur would go free.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Jackson doesn't know that. It's conjecture.
Sustained.
So you found your voice after all, counsel. No more questions, Your Honor.
For the defense and jury's on the fence. Overall, the jury likes your case a little bit. Oh my god.
So what do you want, Mr. Jackson?
I want a deal.
Oh? What's your lawyer think?
Ganderpur thinks I'm an idiot, but I know when I'm being set up.
You're a little late to that party, but I guess you got there. What are you offering?
Say I know what happened to those girls. Say I was there. Say maybe I had something to do with it, but I didn't kill them.
That might be worth something.
Accessory after the fact? That's 7 years no parole. But it's gotta be concurrent with the time I got break-in parole.
Concurrent?
Yeah, sometimes you can learn useful stuff in prison.
They give him. Let's so be lenient to this guy. I mean, he's just dumb, you know. He's just dumb, but he's been playing for a fool. It's not fair on him. Should give him 12 years plus 5 for parole. Serve concurrently. Yeah, let's give him that.
12 years. You can do the 5 you have coming concurrently. No parole.
You can't get gone to per without me. 10 years. I do the 5 I got coming concurrently.
Okay, we said. As long as you can nail that son of a bitch.
Okay, let's hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I realize this is unusual, but it's important that you know Mr. Jackson has agreed to plead guilty to the charges against him. This means Mr. Jackson and Mr. Gondapur are no longer co-defendants. Mr. Jackson now testifies for the people.
I don't think I'm good enough to send them both like to the maximum penalty because I'm not a lawyer. So yeah, let's try to get one of the bitches and the other one is a more lenient but still fairly harsh.
Mr. Jackson, how did you
Sentence.
and Mr. Gondapur first get to know each other?
I started getting the grounds around his house ready for spring. I told him I was on parole. He asked what for. I told him.
For rape, correct?
Yeah, I thought for sure he'd tell my boss not to let me come back, but he seemed really interested. Kept asking me questions about it.
Did you personally see Mr. Gondapur with any of the women he is charged with killing?
Yeah, all of them.
Tell us about the first.
It was the night we just had one girl at the house.
That was Angelica Moore, correct?
Yeah, she changed her mind, wanted to leave. Mr. Gondapur held her down while I raped her. When I was done, well...
Keep quiet! Last chance, Mr. Gondapur. Remain silent or I'll have you removed.
Gondapur goes, we better make sure she doesn't say anything to anybody.
What did he mean?
I go back to jail, so he killed her.
Why not go to the police after the first murder? Why not testify against Mr. Gondapur?
I'm a convicted rapist out on parole. He's a millionaire. Whose story the police gonna buy?
Did you ever bring prostitutes to Mr. Gondapur's home at his request?
Yeah, a lot of them.
That is a lie!
Mr. Gondapur, sit down.
Go on, Mr. Jackson.
First, he had me bring back hookers to the house 2 at a time. We'd party together, do some ice, that's crystal meth. At least I would, and the girls would.
Objection, Your Honor. The witness's story is complete fabrication.
No, because we saw crystal meth in the van. Oh wait,
Overruled. You'll have your chance to cross, Mr. Gondapur.
what did I click on? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
What happened with Wendy Crane?
I get in.
It wasn't a. Oh, why did I click on yes? It wasn't a
She said she was up
fabrication.
for whatever. So I pulled out my knife to tie her up. She starts freaking out.
I fucked up.
Hitting me.
Detective find a knife in his shed. Yes. What?
Then what?
She jumps out of the van,
What?
screaming her head off. I just kind of put my hands around her throat, just to shut her up, you know? But before I knew, she ain't screaming anymore.
What's going on? Am I clicking the wrong stuff?
I'd go and find girls, bring them back. I took them to the garden shed, we'd party. Then Mr. Gondapur would kill them, strangle them.
Yes. Oh god. Who? Is it Mike Logan, right? Oh, I'm on my last lifeline, I
How
think.
many did he kill, Patty?
I don't know, 6, 7? That's what the newspaper said. I tried to forget him. I want the jury to know, I'm really sorry about how this all happened. I never would have done this if it wasn't for him.
I object to this character assassination.
Mr. Cutter, please instruct your witness to limit testimony to the question asked.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Oh. Check. It's on the fence. Okay. Wasn't it really impactful then?
I demand a mistrial.
Motion denied. You asked for this circus, Mr. Gondapur. I'm going to see it through to the end. We'll let a higher court decide if justice was served.
Very well. I can prove this man acted alone. The evidence is at his apartment. I demand we send detectives to search it again.
Objection, Your Honor. The defense is stalling for time. Patty Jackson's apartment has already been thoroughly searched by investigators who found nothing.
Thoroughly, huh? Have you checked in the walls, in the crawl space, under his bed?
Court is recessed for the day. Counselors, I want to see you in my chambers.
Cannot believe the judge approved Gondapur's request.
Nothing surprises me with this trial. Any clue from Jackson on what this evidence could be?
None. He won't talk.
I don't like it.
Gandapur knows that any evidence we find has to be turned over to him. It's what he's counting on. But why?
Whatever it is must implicate Jackson as being the real ringleader.
Wait a minute. The police never found the souvenirs taken from the victims. The locks of hair that were missing.
That was Jackson's MO when he committed those rapes in Washington Heights. If the search reveals trophies like that in his apartment, it would go a long way to convince a jury that Jackson was responsible for the murders, not Gondapur.
Get this. When detectives searched Jackson's van, they found a small jewelry box with a false bottom. Patty was a carpenter. He used the jewelry box to hide the crystal meth he used to disorient his victims. I'm willing to bet that's what Gandapur wants us to find in Jackson's apartment.
He knows it's there, but he wants us to find it. That gives him total deniability while nailing Jackson to the wall.
Call Logan. He might be able to help us thread a pretty small loophole here. I'm going to take a walk. From this point on, keep me out of the loop.
Okay, boss.
Hey, Abby. It's Mike Logan. I found something.
Don't tell me what it is.
Don't worry, I know the rules. I'll file my report after you guys conduct your own search. Just, tell the uniforms not to shake the present too hard. Might break what's inside.
Thanks, Mike. You're a lifesaver.
Why don't you thank me with dinner?
Oh, dinner. Ooh. Oh, maybe some coffee later.
Remember, this isn't gonna work unless he gets good and angry.
Don't worry. I have a special talent when it comes to infuriating people. Mr. Gondapur, you stated at the close of trial yesterday that investigators were to search Mr. Jackson's apartment again for evidence pertaining to this case.
Indeed.
They didn't find anything.
I am well aware.
Grand jurors slippery. Try and focus on the facts of the case, names and places. Avoid more hot button issues that will allow Grandapur to distract the jury. Okay, so focus on the facts of the case, names and places.
What was it about Angelica Moore, Mr. Gondapur? Why is it you were so fixated on her that months after you were arrested picking her up, you sent Mr. Jackson here to kidnap her for you?
She was a woman in need who I tried to help and who took advantage. That is all. The arrest was a misunderstanding and the charges were dropped.
Who he tried to help? I thought he needed directions. No. Yes, I'm building up my bar. Received a bribe from him to change the testimony of the thing. Bank for a bribe to have to change the term. Yeah, it was that one, right? To bribe him, because he said they're quiet. Yes! Take that! Sorry, wrong game.
Are you sure? Because
Not
I
finished,
have
right?
an affidavit by one Donald Deshawn, aka Bankroll, an associate of Angelica Moore's who swears under oath that Angelica changed her testimony after he received a bribe on her behalf of $1,000.
That is ridiculous. He must have me confused with someone else.
Oh yeah, another person of Arab descent in Harlem
Patch
who was
through!
arrested for assaulting Angelica Moore shortly before her death.
Are you trying to get a rise out of me, Mr. Cutter?
It doesn't seem to take much, Mr. Gondapur.
Pashtun heritage. No.
What did you want us to find in Patty Jackson's apartment, Mr. Gondapur?
What makes you think I expected you to find anything?
Did he indicate a place he wanted them to search? Well, he did. He said under the beds, in the cracks and stuff like that. Specifically requested that they could search the freezer. No, specifically requested search under the bed in Jackson's apartment. The catch line, yeah, under the bed.
Under his bed.
Oh, I'm
Yet
saying this
detectives did a full search of
motherfucker.
the apartment and found nothing.
A chest! A small wooden chest! How could they miss it?
Yes, one wooden chest. Exhibit C, let's call it.
There! That's it! That will prove my innocence!
Crystal meth.
Mr. Gondapur, could you explain to the court how an empty wooden chest will prove you innocent?
Are you an imbecile? Give it to me! There! There, you see? He took a lock of their hair. I saw him do it to each girl. You didn't think I knew, did you? Nothing gets past me, you mongoloid! No. No, wait. I didn't mean that I'd...
No further questions, Your Honor.
No. I demand a mistrial. No, no!
Yes. He's getting
Prosecution
fucked up.
rests, Your Honor.
Mr. Gondapur,
The defense rests, Your Honor.
the jury is to retire for deliberations. I'll send along jury instructions shortly. Court adjourned.
Surely,
Has the jury reached a unanimous
surely he's
verdict?
fucking guilty now, man.
Your Honor.
Come
Please
on,
read the verdict
guilty,
as it stands
guilty.
recorded.
In regards to Mr. Gondapur, as to counts 1 through 8, homicide in the first degree,
Booyah.
guilty.
Yeah, motherfucker, you don't fuck with me. You don't fuck with me.
By this time tomorrow, I'll have the best law firm in Manhattan working overtime on my appeal.
I might do some comparison shopping if I were you. Your board of directors voted to have you removed.
This is my house. This is my court.
So Patty Jackson goes back to jail and Gandaper gets multiple life sentences without parole. Well done.
Queen yourself
Nice
lawyer.
to see that the super rich are still held to the same standards of justice as the rest of us, once in a while.
At least until his appeal.
To the rest of us.
I don't have a drink, so I can't toast it then. But yeah. Oh, is this a Trevina
I
case?
think it is.
Briscoe's Little Black Book of Unsolved Cases.
How did you... Right. I don't want to know. Hold on. Frank Vincenzo Jr. I recognize that one.
Do tell.
He was a tenant in the apartment building where that Glock 17 was found.
Got a forwarding?
According to this, he's still a tenant.
Thank God for rent control.
See, I don't get this little case, on the sly, like what the connection is with the gun, with Mike Trevino, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I won. Yes, so I'm 2 for 1 now. So oof. Where do I sign up? To register myself to sit the bar. I'm ready, son. I'm ready. Ready to become a lawyer. Yeah, I did some fuck up in that trial. I don't know what happens if I didn't do the bargain, because Paddy Jackson helped me big time though. He saved my ass. If he didn't, then things would have been. I would have been struggling. I don't think I was good enough to set them both of their asses to jail. I think because I did the poor start. The first section I did really, really badly, and if I had done better, maybe I could have put them both, like for life, whatever. But whatever. I got the main culprit. So that's for me. That's a win because they're both doing time. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah. Well, it was a good episode. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It wasn't really too sensitive, the material or whatever. So yeah, I don't know how many episodes there are. I might check after this and see how many episodes there are. If it's like any other Telltale games, I suspect that it's about 5 episodes. So I guess in this case there'll be 2 more cases to crack and send them packing to prison. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I'll get a 4-on-1 record by the end of game, but we'll see. As long as more than 50%, then I'm happy. It seems like it feels like I've done my job, but we'll see. If I click on this, will it skip? No, it won't skip. Okay. So if we click on play, I'm just curious to see. Oh shit, I'm getting worse and worse. Episode 4, episode 5. Oh shit, that's 6. Oh shit, that's 7. Oh, nice. I don't want to look at this in case there's too much spoilers, but okay, so I'm on Nobody's Child, okay? Right, so I started off with 2.5, then I dropped down to 2 stars. Now then I dropped to 1.5 stars. What's next? Gonna be 1.5 and I'm gonna get 0 on the last episode? Oh gosh. I mean, yeah, it was. I didn't do well. 35 out of it. Detective rank. Attorney rank. Exec ADA. I have no idea what that means. Exec. Okay, let me look at the first one because the first one obviously I did the best in. So let's see what rank I got. Oh shit! I got Ace Detective. Oh, does it mean that your rank carries forward, right? Because Ace Detective doesn't sound good. Here, I became. Okay, actually, maybe it does. Detective Assistant DA. And here, Exec the ADA. What was that? Executive Assistant District Attorney? I have no idea what these jargons or whatever. Okay. Quite a lot of stuff. What's this? Is it global stats or? Oh no, connect. Okay. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, this session of the 3rd episode of Law and Order Legacies. I did say you guys were in for a treat. Hopefully you guys had some laugh and giggles, shits and giggles. But okay, if you do enjoy what you saw, anticipate for the next episode. Hopefully it'll be sometime this week. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But yeah, for now, I'll catch you guys later. So take care and peace.